to Monday Night Rants on the Better Sports Network. What is going on, everybody? Somebody has a case of the Mondays. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And, well, Bob's your uncle. Rants on the Street with Thomas Stevens. Shout out to my producer, Tyler Heavy T. Soto. Boom. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Rants on the Better Sports Network on a Wednesday, because we are doing our NCAA tournament special. That's right. We'll be going over the brackets. I'll be giving you my betting picks. 70% in betting every game of the tournament, just the spreads over the last 3 years. So a lot tonight on that. And already we just had an overtime win for Grambling against Montana State for the right to fight and get their ass kicked by Purdue on Friday. So shout out to Grambling, Montana State. It was actually a good game, unlike one of the games last night. More on that later. We will do a quick rant lines before we get started in the big betting picks and the bracketology, if you will, the Monday night bracketology. We'll be filling out a bracket, and I've been going over the numbers since Monday. I've gotten of Ken Palm and stats and win losses and offense, defense, rate of play, tempo. It's been crazy. I've redone my bracket probably 18 times already. And I'm not like one of those guys who does like 8 brackets. I do one. And I may be in 8 contests or 20 contests, but I do the same bracket in every contest because it's my bracket. I want that bracket to be the one that I have to follow, and that's it. I don't want to follow 8 brackets. It's the one where I do all the research, all the work, and that's the one that I want. I will post that up on MondayNightRants.com. Along with all my betting picks for tomorrow will be on there tonight as well. After the show, this show will be posted up, and I'll also put my article of all my picks for tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'll release my picks for Friday, and then Friday for Saturday. Sunday. Yeah, you get it. So they'll all be up there. I'll probably put them on the socials too. Links where you could all go find them. MondayNightRants.com for all of that. Joining me tonight will be, of course, your favorite lovable teddy bear and the yin to my yang, kind of, is Tyler Heavy T. Soto. He'll be here in about a couple of minutes or so, and we'll get going with him. I like it because we also have Thomas Stevens on tonight. So we'll have the Monday Night Rants crew here tonight filling out a bracket. And here's how this is going to work when we do our bracket. Majority wins. There's 3 of us. So if 2 people like one team, that's the way it's going to go. But if I'm the one that doesn't like the team, I'm going to fight to change someone's mind of why they should be the one moving on in the tournament, because that's what I do. So there's going to be some arguments. There's going to be some laughs. But in the end, we're going to have a bracket, which you guys can use at your own discretion. Everyone has their own little things. I saw somebody today who literally made a bracket just based upon what mascots would win in a fight. Yeah. The Hilltoppers didn't make it very far. That's for sure. But yeah, there's, you could do all favorites. That never wins. You could do all underdogs. You'd be maybe good in the first round, but towards the end, you may lose when all the points matter. But there's ways you could do it. I tend to just go from what I've seen this year because I've watched a lot of the NCAA games this year. I'm up on betting this year, so I've been winning my against the spreads, my over-unders. I'm about 63% over the entire season, and that's hundreds of bets, by the way. So doing really well there. And I'm going to use that information that I gathered to help you guys create a bracket and give my picks tonight, along with Tyler Heavy T. Soto and, of course, Thomas Stevens. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Now, I know it's on a Wednesday, not on a Monday this week. I get it. And I did a Tuesday a little while ago, but, shit happens. I have a daughter who's sick right now. She came up with a fever on Monday, and she's still has that fever. So 3 days in, it's fine. We did talk to the doctor. She's fine. You just one of those things that's going around that. And when the doctor said it could last up to 2 weeks, and I went, no daycare for 2 weeks. Whew. As a father of a 4-year-old, if either of you out there are a father of a 4-year-old, you understand that problem. And my wife also has it too. So I'm dad. I'm all in right now. All in. I haven't gotten it yet. Thank God. So hopefully that stays between them and doesn't get to me. But we will be back next Monday, normal time. There's a lot we got to talk about with the tournament. Baseball, which we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to talk about what happened with Ohtani's translator in a couple minutes here. And that'll be interesting because Heavy T has a lot to say about that. Breaking news earlier that Ohtani's translator was fired because of theft of millions of dollars, in quotes, from Ohtani to illegally gamble. Illegally. Not even legally. I know he lives in LA probably because Angels moving over to the Dodgers. I get it. You can't gamble in the state of California legally, but you got to know somebody in Arizona you could just Venmo. Come on. But anyways, that I don't recommend doing that either. But that's going to be interesting to see what Heavy T has to say about that, Thomas Stevens. But next week, we'll be back at normal Monday night time, and we're going to have a fun little game show for you next week. So make sure you tune in for that. And we're getting closer to baseball, so we're also going to have our baseball predictions next week. We're finally going to start talking about baseball more because it's here. It happened last night. I myself did not stay up till 3 a.m. to watch my Padres play the Dodgers. As a matter of fact, the last thing I did before I went to bed was put out a tweet that said, man, it really sucks knowing going to bed that when you wake up in the morning, your Padres are going to be in last place. And I was right. The new look bullpen from the New York Yankees in the trade with Juan Soto did not come to play at all. I guess early this morning. But shout out to everybody who stayed up till 3 a.m. or woke up at 3 a.m. or I guess if you're on the East Coast, 6 a.m., which isn't as bad, to watch the Padres and the Dodgers play in a game that I like. Okay, here we go. I like the fact that they're playing these baseball games overseas or in different countries. But why can't we do it during the season? Like, why can't it be like the first series after the All-Star break so they have time to travel over there? Or, like, why does it have to be like 2 weeks ahead of this with there's spring training games still going on, and the Padres and Dodgers already have to be in full mode? Doesn't seem fair. And you got to go to South Korea? I guess the Dodgers got a view. It's South Korean actors, I guess, who threw out the first pitch, and everyone's like, whoa. Yeah, wow, I wonder what they were looking at. Give it a goog, people. Give it a goog. But it's just, have it later in the season. It doesn't have to be right now. It's ruining fantasy because it's like, I don't even know. I'm in like 4 leagues, and one of them hasn't even drafted yet, so I guess these games don't count. So, and they're redrafts. So do I lose 2 games of Dodgers and Padres players who have loaded rosters of people you want in fantasy? I guess so. That sucks. It just doesn't seem, I don't like it. Back in the day, opening day in MLB baseball used to always be in Cincinnati the day before when everybody played. It was always in Cincinnati. That's the way it was. Everyone loved it. Opening day was a pastime. Like it was a holiday for MLB. Now it's not. It's in South Korea. It's not America's pastime. That's South Korea. Again, it's not that I hate it being in South Korea. I just don't like where they put it. And that it actually means just play spring training games in South Korea. You'd get the same crowd. You really would. It doesn't need to count towards the season. And the Padres last year, remember, they played, I think it was against the Giants, or maybe it was the Dodgers too, in Mexico. I didn't mind that, except for the fact that with the air and everything, the score was like 20-17 every game. That was crazy. So, unlike football, I think it affects the football games too a lot, but I think it affects baseball even more overseas. It really does. Just with the altitude of Mexico and how that played out. And now having to play a week and a half earlier and don't have as much spring training time to get your team ready than the other teams do. And you got to travel across the country, then travel back and they get ready for actual opening day. I think MLB should do a better job of scheduling those in to the season. That's all and everything that I am saying. So, with that being said, shout out to the Dodgers winning the first baseball game of the season. They're in first place. We all know that. And more on the Dodgers. I mean, I could go off on the Dodgers. I'm not going to lie to you. I really could absolutely go off on how I think the Dodgers have ruined baseball this season and how I think all this money and salary cap and all this stuff in baseball just isn't fun. It ruins the game. And you might say I'm right. You might say I'm wrong. You may want to fight me. Maybe you're a Dodgers fan, or maybe you just think, oh, you're just a sad Padres fan. And the Padres, look what the Padres have done. No, I know. And is baseball as exciting this year? It seems like every year it's getting less and less exciting. Every year, baseball opening day is getting less and less exciting because they're doing more. And now we have the Korea, and now you have all these teams that are just buying everybody and paying, literally just backloading contracts that are worth millions and millions of dollars, but they really don't have to pay them much, like Ohtani. And just having the superstar team, it doesn't make everybody else excited. The Dodgers fans are extremely excited. I live in California. I know. But as a Padres fan, I'm not excited as it was. I know my team's not quite as good as it was last year when they blew it, or the year before. But if you're a Pirates fan, if you're a Reds fan, I guess Reds are young and up and coming. If you're all these other teams that look at the Dodgers and what they're doing, are you excited about your team enough because of all the hype, everything that the Dodgers have, to actually want to tune into baseball this year? Probably not. And I know you just went on a rant about baseball for 5 minutes, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. We're supposed to be talking about NCAA basketball, and I haven't even gone into it, but we will. So Ohtani's translator was fired amid allegations of theft of millions of dollars from Ohtani and illegally gambling. His name, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I will screw it up. Ipe Mizahara. Not bad. Just watch the chat. Said baseball would be better if it was a 58-game season. Everyone plays a home and home start the season in July. Let's get to it. I agree. Maybe there's too many games too. They probably need to lower that down tremendously. I think they should. I think you're right. But it's not the October Classic anymore, Edward. I don't care. Get it done and get it out of the way before football starts. Get more ratings. It's true. What else is on in August? What if you did the entire baseball playoffs and world? Justin's right. What if everything was done by August before football season starts? Everyone would be watching the World Series. Everyone would be watching the playoffs because there's nothing else on. But you have it like overlapping football when football's getting started. It's just not. It's not good. I don't know where Heavy T is. He's supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. I have to yell at him. But Ohtani's translator, obviously, $1 million stolen. He was fired today because he stole $1 million from Ohtani to illegally gamble. And he admitted to running up gambling debts on sports other than baseball, with the bookmaker claiming he did not know the activity was illegal. Okay. Okay. Oh, this shady guy who has a book and writes down what I owe and everything in it, and I didn't know it's illegal. Sorry. Whew. Ohtani was wiring payments to cover his debt. Now, that's fine, I guess. Ohtani can give his money to whoever he wants to. I'm not saying that's Ohtani's fault, but if Ohtani was wiring money to cover his debt, then clearly Ohtani knew about this. Did Ohtani not know it was illegal? This is a big story. It'll probably get swept under the rug. Obviously, he'll have a new translator by tomorrow morning. Get it. What up, Jose? Welcome to the show on a Wednesday. I know. Crazy, but we're doing the NCAA. Let's waiting for my guest to come in so we can get to it. We're talking about Ohtani's translator being fired because he didn't think that gambling was illegal in California. Let's see what Heavy T has to say about this. We got you. You're late. You're late to work, Heavy T.
I'm slightly late. I don't know if I'd say I'm late to work.
And you got to turn your microphone on.
Oh, yes, that would help.
Heavy T. Heavy T. What am I going to do with you?
Look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. This is why you don't make sure. Okay, this is why you don't let your computer die, because the settings never save.
Yeah,
it's so stupid.
Your screen is opposite, so you have to unmirror it.
Yes, correct. She's like, I'm a mess right now. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Everybody, the Monday Night Rants producer, give it up for Tyler Heavy T. Soto. There he is. All right.
There we go. That's better. So let's turn that a little bit. Let's see. Hold on. Let's get the laptop ready.
Yeah, let's get ready to do a show, Heavy T. 18 minutes into it.
Listen, traffic was a nightmare, dude. I'm a mess. You know, it is what it is, man. You know what? In the famous words of me, it be like that sometimes.
Like that sometimes.
Easiest way to say it.
I've already given my thought on, and we'll have to move our heads a little bit here to get on camera and not.
Oh, I saw this. So I'm going to be real with you. So I was at a restaurant. I was at Lazy Dog. Great restaurant if you've never had it. So I was at Lazy Dog.
Shout out Lazy Dog.
When I found this news out. And me and my date, like, our jaws dropped. We could not believe this.
Yeah.
This,
did you read
I read the article.
Yeah.
$4.5 million.
He didn't know he didn't know it was illegal.
This is legitimately insane. But something about it doesn't add up. I'm going to be honest.
Explain.
Something about it doesn't add up. I'm not saying that Shohei has a crippling gambling addiction, but something about it just doesn't sound right. Ipe kind of sounds like a fall guy here.
I see where you're coming from. And it has been known that in this story that Ohtani was actually wiring him money to cover his debts.
Which, it's not. Here's the other thing, too. It's not like 4.5 million is some money. No. 4.5 million is a lot of money. So, I can't even explain it more than the way I just did. This was baffling. Just out of left field, out of nowhere. Where did this come from? Just what in God's name happened? Figures happens with Dodgers, though. Couldn't be the Angels. Couldn't be them.
Mm-mm.
It's wild. Absolutely wild. Like, I still kind of processing it, and I don't believe it. It's just out of nowhere. The interpreter of all things, and he paid this money to a bookie who was a random dude based out of Orange County.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm.
This is wild, dude.
Yeah, this story. More to it is going to come out. I believe it.
For sure. But we're talking about the biggest gambling story in sports since Michael Jordan got suspended for gambling, or I guess got suspended is the easiest way to say it. Like, this is just, I think the easiest way to explain it is, it doesn't matter where you are in the country tomorrow, with the exception of Alaska and Hawaii. It doesn't matter where you are in the country tomorrow. Every single sports station, whether you have a baseball team or not, this is the lead story. Because what in the hell is happening?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense. Hey, pun intended, came out of left field. Legitimately came out of left field. Like I said, I read it and my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. Yeah. I could not believe it.
We will have to see how that all plays out. What did play out last night?
Verlander. I'm sure he fell at his knees when they heard this news.
Yeah. What did play out last night was this. A terrible decision by the NCAA to put Virginia in this game. A 67-42 loss last night to Colorado State. They're 14 points at halftime. Everyone's saying they shouldn't be in there. They shouldn't be in there because they robbed us of this guy. We wanted Cream.
Yes, I wanted Cream
Abdul-Jabbar to be on my television last night. Instead, at halftime, I had to work because the game sucked. Where I could have been watching
that game.
Cream.
I know you saw my tweet last night, and let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
It was,
but that game was an embarrassment, dude. Towards the end of the game, I don't know who it was at the free throw line. But towards the I just saw a tweet of Shohei Ohtani between innings, and it's the guy slapping the newspaper at the racehorses. So it's just really funny. But like this game was so bad. I don't know who was at the free throw line, but one of the Virginia just airballing free throws. Touch the net, didn't even touch the rim. That game was awful. I turned it off halfway through. I turned it off, started playing MLB The Show.
Good.
This game sucked.
14 points at halftime. I posted that on Twitter too. It was the Wolverine meme.
Yeah.
And then the picture was the NIT, and I said Virginia fans right now.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. It's one thing to not even mistakenly. It's one thing to put Virginia in the first 4 in, first 4 out playing game, whatever.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, by the way, should have been in. Seton Hall, and then obviously Indiana State and Cream. I think, St. John's, I don't buy that. I don't think St. John's, I still think that worked for them. But, yeah, no.
Great tweet, by the way. Good to hear the Elizabeth stares in by God. But, I mean, here's the other thing, too, about it that kind of makes me mad. They were a 10 seed. A 10.
Yep.
What that doesn't make any sense. They should have been
0.
First off, they shouldn't have been in the tournament. But second, to be a 10 seed?
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Well, I think Colorado, who, by the way, this game tonight that's coming up next, but now delayed because of the overtime game. This game tonight really matters for my bracket because I think the Colorado-Florida matchup is more interesting than the other way, which is Boise State, Florida. So, and Colorado, by the way, lost the Pac-12 finals to Oregon, and Colorado's a good team. So, as a 10 seed, if they get in, I think they're underseeded. But more on that later. I do want to talk to you about this real quick, and we got to get going. Thomas Stevens is already here. We're running late because somebody was late to work, MVT.
I don't like your tone, but I get it.
You're going to like this, though. Came out yesterday. It kind of slipped underneath the headlines there. Is that Travis Kelce is rumored to be the new host of the reboot of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Which, by the way, should be called Are You Smarter Than Travis Kelce? Because it's the same thing.
I guarantee you Travis Kelce does not know half the answers to these questions.
No, if you need to compete, make it fun, executives. Have fun with it. Make him compete in every episode. And see what happens. I would watch that. I don't want to watch some stupid Travis Kelce puns as he's hosting this. I want to see him compete with the fifth graders. I think it would be a valiant effort. So that'll be on Amazon Prime. Go ahead.
The other thing that's funny about this too is, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I'm pretty sure Travis Kelce is smarter than the previous host, and I believe that was Jeff Foxworthy.
Jeff Foxworthy, yes.
Yeah. So,
you're a redneck when you're hosting Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Like, that's literally what that man is famous for. It's like, you're a redneck.
You're a redneck win, and just say something that your uncle said yesterday. That's literally what he got famous for. What did my uncle say yesterday? And just open with, you're a redneck win. And boom.
I'll say it once, and I'll say it again because I've said it before.
Sorry, all you Jeff Foxworthy fans out there. I'm sorry.
What are we doing out here? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing out here? Like, literally put that in quotes. What are we doing out here? End quote, Heavy T. Just, what are we doing?
Yeah, Heavy T would like to know, what are we doing? Wait till what's going on, Redders? Welcome to the show.
And you know what? I'll make it even sound smarter than a fifth grader. What are thou doing? There you go. What are thou doing?
You think that Travis Kelce has ever heard or used the word thou his entire life?
Probably in an accidental and unironic way.
Probably. Thou shalt move on. I'm going to skip the Anthony Edwards thing because we're running out of time and everyone saw that. I'm not going to go over that again.
But this was something wild. That was wild.
This was something that I saw yesterday, and we got to be real quick on this because we got to get into the NCAA stuff here. But I saw this yesterday and got interest here. The Gold Zone, which is during the Olympics this year. Scott Hansen will be hosting the Gold Zone, which will be like the Red Zone for the NFL, but on the Olympics, that's going to go live, look into all the different events and do all that. And I say, yay! I say, yay! What does thou say?
I'm going to be honest. First off, it's what say ye, Heavy T. Let's make sure.
Okay, that's that.
Second, I was stoked for this when I heard about it. And the reason is there is one person that immediately came to mind, and that would be my dad. And I have to give a shout out to my dad because every single Summer Olympics, so every 4 years, this man takes 2 weeks off, paid vacation, and does nothing but watch every single Olympic event that he could find that's being covered on TV. Well, and I mean, when I say everything, when we had the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, pushed back a year because of COVID, when we had those in 2021, I walked into his bedroom. This man had his TV on, his home computer on, his work laptop, my mom's laptop, and his phone the same time, watching 5 different sports. And I have never, ever appreciated a dedication to something more than I did my dad watching the Summer Olympics. It is literally I can't say annual because it's not annual, but in every 4-year tradition that my dad takes 2 weeks off and watches the entirety of the Olympics. And the thing that
I wish I could do that. I love it too. I would do it too.
Yeah, the thing that makes it even better this year, and you could say it's even better. So he's going to be on bed rest this year because he's having knee replacement surgery. This man planned his knee replacement surgery around the Olympics, so he knew he would be off to watch them all.
You know what?
I love this man.
This is for your dad right now. Give him an air horn. And you know what? I'm even going to give him the ultimate mighty thing that I never give anybody on Monday Night Rants. But shout out to your dad. This is for him.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Shout out Scott Hansen for hosting this too.
I can't wait, man. I love the Olympics.
America's zone host. He's great, dude.
The winter's I like the winter a little bit more in the Olympics because I like the snowboarding, because like towards the end of it's only a week, right? We got 2 weeks of this, and then
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And the Olympics in the summer, when they start doing the cycling on the track inside, I'm just like, okay, this is time to stop.
Low key, I've seen the track.
Ride a bike outside like an adult.
I've seen the inside cycling. I'm not sure how you call it, track cycling, whatever you call it. I've seen it. Not only does that thing get intense, when it does happen, those wipeouts are gnarly.
They are.
It is a good one.
You should watch the mountain biking in the Olympics. Speaking of wipeouts,
I have seen a little bit of the mountain biking. I've seen
crazy.
Now I'm trying to think like one of my favorite.
Now we're on a tangent. We don't have time for Olympics.
That. Yeah, no,
we're in our NCAA tournament show. We're half an hour in, and we just bitched about Ohtani was probably the one really gambling and not his translator. Did I say hell loud? And also the Olympics. But we're moving on. It's time, everybody.
Oh, dude, Dodgers FBI is going to show up at your house for like in 5 hours.
Bring it on.
Oh my!
I'll take that organization down from the inside. We're here. Oh, by the way, hello, Thomas.
What's up, guys?
I just brought you in randomly as Heavy T was talking so much cool stuff about his father.
Shout out to Pops.
I'm going to come to Heavy T's house, have some beers, and watch Gold Zone with his father.
Pops.
That's right. Let's do it.
Look, I'll be honest. My dad doesn't drink, but I do. So bring the beers, man.
Beers with Heavy T, Olympics with his pops.
Okay, questions for you guys real quick as we go into this. And also, yes, Olympics and beers. But I'll start with you, Thomas, and then you, Heavy T. When you guys fill out brackets, I know you guys probably already filled out a bracket or two, however you do it. I'm the type of guy that just does one bracket and that's it. And I do all these different contests. I'm in like friends leagues, I'm in a family league. I'm in doing one for the Drew Show on New York 104, all this stuff. But I do all my research, one bracket for everything. Thomas, do you do one bracket for everything, or do you have like 8 different brackets? Or how do you
as of right now, I do have one bracket. I'll be honest, college basketball is not my biggest sport. I don't watch it all the time. I do love March Madness. I don't think anybody can not like March Madness.
Oh, so this is going to be real fun when Heavy T and I are really off from a pick and you have to say of what goes into the actual bracket.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
awesome.
So
okay.
It is basketball. I do know basketball, you know what I mean? But it's just, the knowledge isn't as much there. But I do only have one bracket right now, and I did only fill out one last year as well. So we'll go with one. Yeah.
Heavy T.
I will be honest. So I used to be the guy who would fill out many different brackets, but 2021, the year that the tournament was first back after COVID, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and fill one, submit them around, see how it goes. That one I actually did correctly pick the winner. It was Baylor that year. So I was like, okay, I'll just stick to one bracket. So I've stuck to one bracket since. Now I will say, small caveat, I did do one extra bracket, but that's because me and my friends got really stupid last night and decided to do a mascot bracket based on which mascot would win. Fun fact, the Blue Devil would beat the UAB Dragon in the final. So that's who I have winning the whole thing.
So that's funny you say that. I saw someone today do what mascot would win bracket.
Okay.
And theirs was the Blue Devils winning too. Is the Blue Devil just the ultimate mascot that will beat everybody? That will beat everyone's ass in a fight?
The devil is a mystical creature, spiritual, some may say, from hell itself. And this dude has unearthly power. Of course this guy wins, dude. It's the Blue Devil. Nothing's beating a devil, dude. That dude's supposed to come back and end the world someday. Nothing's beating the devil.
It's too bad Arizona State didn't make it because then we know what the finals are.
Low-key, I would have picked the Sun Devil instead of over the Blue Devil. I would have picked the Sun
he's
Devil.
just blue. He's the Sun Devil. Like, he has, like, sun power and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm rolling with that. By the way, you can see the odds of all the teams to win the NCAA tournament in here. I'm going to screen share here, and we're going to fill out a bracket together. And I'll go over my bets as we do this as well, and we'll fight. Here's how this is going to work, gentlemen. I've been spending the last 3 days of my life with a sick daughter and a sick wife, so I've had nothing but time to do research on all this stuff. I've gone through the Ken Palm. I've gone through the every stat, everything, and I've already filled out my bracket. Heavy T has done his thing too, and Thomas is going to be the one that decides pretty much if we don't agree on anything where we're going. So,
okay,
which is a good thing. That's what we want because there's so much there. Like you say, I don't really follow college basketball, but you're a huge NBA guy. But you see in some games, you kind of know based on team, and you're
for sure
that no one's ever gotten a perfect bracket. I think an octopus once got close or something, or was that World Cup? I don't know, but that aspect of randomness and that aspect of luck is kind of what you need to actually have a bracket that wins. So it's actually a good thing. Okay, so let me share my screen here, and we're gonna get into it. The Monday Night Rants NCAA Tournament Extravaganza Mania, because I'm not legally able to say March Madness, but I just did. By the way, that is the whole title of it. Heavy T, remember that?
I'm just going to call it March Madness with 2 A's in both March and Madness. So we're not legally at fault. I'm just going to do it that way. It's much easier to remember.
I like it. All right, so here's our bracket. Heavy T, can you help? How do I go to the side here? I want to go to the side. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
All right, look at me. I'm a everyday producer here.
Only a year into the show and we're learning. So there we go.
Heavy T's late. He's not mirrored. He's like, come on now. Yeah, only a year. We're over a year now, man. We're over a year.
This is what LA traffic does to a man, dude. LA traffic does to a man. It's a disaster.
Here in Fresno, 77. It's a beautiful day. No traffic. Wonderful.
Must be nice.
Let's see if I can zoom in here. Nope, that failed. Okay, so we're just doing it this way.
You can zoom in a little bit. Yeah, there you
go. We'll go this way. All right, now we're going to talk about the East first.
Real quick, if you have Chrome, there should be 3 dots in the upper right corner. You hit that, and there should be a zoom option right there.
Man, this is. Oh yeah, there you go.
Oh, look at it. We're learning.
We're learning here.
We got it. Yeah, let's go.
That's what happens when your producer's late to your own show. Okay. The East bracket is what we'll be looking at here. And to me, there's 4 teams in this East bracket that I actually loved coming into this tournament. Like, loved to be like my final 4 teams. Remember, Heavy T, before you shake your head, I called Miami last year. I called a Mountain West team would be in the Final 4. And I called UConn. So I got 3 of the Final 4 correct last year.
You have some credibility. I'll give you that.
UConn is a team I like this year. Obviously, everybody likes UConn. They won last year.
Yeah.
I also am in love with Auburn. I was in love with Illinois, and I was in love with Iowa State. All 4 teams somehow, some way, got put into the East as the 1, 2, 3, 4 seed. Auburn is really, they should be a 3 or a 2, in my opinion, based on all the research I've done.
I think this is easily the bracket of death, the region of
bracket
death,
of yes, for sure. Which opens up easy runs for teams like Purdue, especially in with Kansas with the injury to their star player, with Arizona and these other teams. So here we are. Should we save the East for last or just run through it real quick?
I would run through it. I think. Let's be honest. UConn, that's happening.
Yeah, let's put UConn. Heavy TK, can you get the odds as I'm pulling up
yeah, give me 1 second.
The games, and I could just tell you how just the against the spread odds. I know they don't play till Friday, so and this is obviously going to be
as of course is tradition. As of course is tradition, we go to FanDuel for all our odds.
Yes, we got to go to FanDuel for all of our odds. We had to FanDuel show a record here on Monday Night Rants. Heavy T, who actually was live from FanDuel last week on the show. It's quite fun.
Yes, and probably will be again this weekend.
This Monday? We got to do the game show. Damn it. Oh, well, we'll figure it out.
So we're looking at Connecticut. Connecticut is a 26.5 point favorite, minus 20,000 on the money line.
Now, these one for 16s, I'm really surprised how people play this, because a lot of times, like, most of the people don't take the 26, don't take the 27. They think they're being cheeky. They think they're being smart because that's a lot of points. How are they going to cover it? You'd be surprised how many times these teams cover it. It's a lot. It's like, I think it was like 68.3% of the time of these high spreads, but between 1 and 16s, take Virginia out of this when they lost. But I think I'm going that UConn covers the 26.5 here. I think this is going to be over by halftime, and even the backups for UConn is enough to take Stetson out of its game. So I'm taking the over on the 26.5 in this game, and obviously we're picking UConn to go forward. This is a very interesting one that I've gone back and forth with Florida Atlantic and Northwestern. I'm actually taking Northwestern in this game to win and beat the UAB. Heavy T, what do you got?
I think this is where we slightly disagree. I'm actually going to take Florida Atlantic. I saw them play earlier this year. They look really, really good. Betting wise, Florida Atlantic is a 2.5
favorite by 2.5.
Yeah, so it's basically a pick 'em. Money line for Florida Atlantic minus 146.
Yeah, I'm taking Northwestern and the points here, and the reason is looking at the adjusted offense and adjusted defense here, and based on strength of schedule, tempo, everything. Northwestern is a way superior team here, and they played harder teams. Yeah, they have more losses, but then look at who Atlantic has played. I think this is one of those 9-8 upsets here, and I'm taking Northwestern. I'm also taking Northwestern and obviously the points against the spread, and that'll be on Monday Night Rants later, by the way, when the show is over. All right, Thomas, we got a split. What is it going to be? Northwestern with that ugly purple N or that weird-looking owl?
I actually did see FAU play earlier in the year. They did look like a good team. I have not seen Northwestern play. I like the description that you just gave. Everything that you just said sounds good. And also, I did see, a lot of the public is on FAU. So I do like to go away from the public. So man. I'll run Northwestern.
Heavy T just lost his first battle. All right.
Times are tough.
By the way, in a mascot challenge, this one would be pretty hard as well. San Diego State versus UAB, the Dragons and the Aztecs. Aztecs are almighty powerful as well. I've seen that Mel Gibson movie. They're crazy. But I have San Diego State here. By the way, the Mountain West team, 5 teams in, and 4 already in. The 5th one's playing right now with Boise State against Colorado, although I think Colorado runs away with this. I got San Diego State winning this one. Heavy T, what you got?
Completely agree. In a mascot challenge, the Dragon beats an Aztec. But in normal basketball, San Diego State's been really good. If I remember correctly, they were in the final last year. They're trying to get back. No, I got San Diego State, man.
Yeah, and the spread for this one, not even close as well. And I'm surprised by this one. It's -7.5 right now currently for San Diego State. I got the public all on UAB in this one, and I don't understand why. The offense for San Diego State is better in every category than the defense of UAB. San Diego State's played in the Mountain West, which is a far superior conference, and the offense for UAB compared to the San Diego State defense, not even close. I think this is a blowout. I'm taking the 7.5 all day as well and moving San Diego State on. All right, this is one where is another interesting one here. I'm Auburn all day, and you guys are gonna hear the Auburn name a lot in this because after doing all my research, Auburn in the palm, adjusted offense, adjusted defense, tempo, everything. Auburn to me is a sleeper to get to the Final Four and come out and be the team to actually come out of this bracket here. So I have Auburn winning and by a lot over Yale.
So it's interesting you say a lot. Auburn is the 12.5 point favorite. They're -1,000 on the money line. Don't get me wrong. I remember years ago, Yale had the great upset over Baylor, but no, it's not happening this year. It's Auburn.
I'm also taking the 12.5 there. I think this is going to be a no-brainer. This one's closer than a lot of people think. The BYU Duquesne. It's not Duquesne, as I learned. It's Duquesne. Obviously, Thomas, you agree Auburn, San Diego State, right?
Yeah.
Okay. BYU Duquesne. Now, I originally said this could be an easily 11-6 upset and then kind of turned my tempo a little bit with BYU, and I flip-flopped this matchup a few times. Obviously, BYU is better in offense, better in adjusted defense, but Duquesne is a crazy tempo, and they can get up and down, and a team that has that type of tempo compared to BYU's, even if you're down 10 in a game, with that type of tempo, you could really easily get that 10 points back and quickly. So I kind of like the Duquesne upset here. It's kind of like one of my 11-6 of kind of looking at quite possibly could happen. Heavy T, what do you think?
This one's tempting. So first off, BYU is the 9.5 point favorite, -490 on Correct. The money line. I'm kind of torn because I've seen a couple BYU games this year. BYU, they can be really good or they can be horrid. That's so true. This is one. I like I said, I know the spread is 9.5, but this is one that's kind of a toss-up for me. Oh, boy.
Here's what I'm going to do. I think BYU wins, but Duquesne covers.
I think I'll agree with that.
I will move BYU on, but I think this is by 9.5. I think it's a close game. I think Duquesne covers.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with that. I'll give it to.
I love the name, but I don't agree with the win. I'm just going to go ahead and move Illinois. I think we all three of us agree that Illinois is the play here. Illinois is one of my sleeper teams. They're up there in the Ken Palm and adjusted offense, adjusted defense. Their tempo. They could easily be a Final Four team out of this bracket. As much as I love Auburn too, Kind of struggled in the tournament a little bit until the end, and then obviously at the end. But Morehead State, just nothing there. What's the spread on this one, Heavy Team? I think it's a lot.
Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to find the Morehead. Oh, yeah, they play on Friday. That's why. Okay, so yeah that is more. By the way, what a year in the NCAA tournament. We have a Morehead and a Longwood.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I saw that. I kind of laughed. I was like, hey. So one of those things.
We're doing it. I didn't even get like the courteous laugh from Thomas. Said it all after I said that joke.
So
oh, it's dead air. I gotta laugh, I guess.
So looking at it real quick, Illinois is minus 11.5, minus 720 on the money line.
Okay, I'm taking Illinois on the 11.5. If it gets to 12 or 13, I may go the other way. Washington State and Drake. A lot of people like Drake in this. Now remember, Drake is the team that ruined my Kareem Abdul-Jabbar dreams because they beat Indiana State in the championship to get to the tournament. Drake shouldn't be here. Boo, Drake. Boo, that man. Not that man. That team, but also that man.
I would be honest. Oh, see, this is where we differ. I'm actually going with the Drake upset. Well, Drake looks really good against Indiana State.
Close spread, by the way, minus 1.5 to Drake.
Yeah.
Drake is actually the favorite.
Drake is favored by 1.5, minus 118 on the money line. Washington State floundered a little bit towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. So I think this is where my first real upset comes. I'm going to take Drake over Wazoo.
All right, Bettor Thomas. You're the man. I'm only taking Wazoo because they upset Indiana State and knocked out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So you could go with the upset. It is a trendy one.
Yeah, I do. In my bracket, I'm looking at it right now. I do have Drake winning. I don't know a lot about them. I know that their big man is solid. They have a good offensive production. I know that Washington's defense is solid. So it'll be a close game, but I think Drake can get it out as long as they stay out of foul trouble.
Drake, it is. Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, like here's my thing with Drake. Drake beat Indiana State, and Indiana State was in the top 25 for a couple of weeks. So Drake must be really good. And Washington State, they were also in the top 25, but like I said, they floundered a little bit towards the end of the season. Some of these times you got to go with
Pac-12 really just kind of towards the end, just kind of all just went.
Not to be graphic, but they just died. Mm-hmm. They just died. Easiest way to say it.
You're not wrong.
So no, I will take like I said, Drake over Washington State.
Right, a 15.5 point spread here. Iowa State, Dakota State. Iowa State was one of my sleepers teams. They just won the tournament conference for probably one of the best leagues in college basketball, if not the best league in college basketball. They looked really good in the championship against your Houston Cougars, right? So Iowa State's kind of on the rise here. 15.5 point favorite against the South Dakota State. Are they the Jackrabbits?
Yes, they are the Jackrabbits. Here's the thing to keep in mind with Iowa State. Iowa State faced Houston 3 times this year, twice in the regular season, once in the conference championship. Mm-hmm. And the 2 times they beat them, Houston did not look good. So, and then here's the other thing to keep in mind is that Houston does not play well on the road. They play really well at home, but they're not.
More on Houston later because I don't think you're going to like me to have to say. But yeah.
That's fine. I don't have, just to get it out there, I don't have them in the Final Four. I don't even think I have them in the Elite 8.
Yeah.
So, but.
They're my first number 1 that gets eliminated.
I don't know about that. Iowa State looks really they went into that Big 12 title game, and they slapped the piss out of Houston. Houston looked awful. It was they won by 20 something. Should have been more. That game, I was sitting at a bar watching that game. That game was an embarrassment. I was watching that game in Houston too. Made it even worse. So this is the whole bar silent. That game was embarrassing, dude. Iowa State's really, really good.
So, minus 15.5. 60% of the public is actually taking the Jackrabbits here. About 60% of the public. I'm going to go ahead and say I'm taking Iowa State by 20. I see that agreement from Thomas. So there you go.
Yeah, go against
20. Yeah, 20's a lot. I don't know if I'd say
all
20.
Right. Betting is out of the way because we don't know the spreads of these games yet. So let's just run through this Eastern bracket real quick as fast as we can and give some answers to the people out there watching. UConn, Northwestern. I think we all agree. UConn.
I agree. UConn over FAU. Yes, correct.
Okay, well, you got outvoted on that one. I got outvoted on another one, so we're good. We're good there. San Diego State and Auburn. I have Auburn.
Auburn.
I have 2 Auburn, so whatever you say right now, Heavy T, you could try to change one of our minds, but I have Auburn.
Now I'm thinking about it. I think I'm slightly leaning San Diego State, but if Auburn wins, I wouldn't be surprised.
And remember, you originally had you had FAU, not UAB. No. Yeah, Auburn wins. Okay. BYU, Illinois. I think Illinois. I think this is a bracket we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4. To be honest,
I agree.
So let me just get to the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, now BYU looks good sometimes, but other times they just look terrible.
Now it gets interesting, and this is where my bracket may differ from what we do here tonight, because I actually have Auburn upsetting UConn in this game. Again, I am very high on Auburn. They are number 4 total in the KenPom. They are just absolutely dominant. They're 10 in adjusted offense, 4 in adjusted defense. You look at Connecticut, they're 1 in offense, but defense is 12. I think this is going to be an upset. I think Auburn is a sneaky team, a sleepy team. They're my Miami from last year, who was underseeded that made it to the Final Four. I think Auburn upsets. But again, you two can outjudge me. But from what I've seen, my analytics, everything, Auburn is a really good team that can sneakily get into the Final Four. So what do you guys say here?
Tyler?
What do you got, Heavy T? You think one goes down, or you have UConn moving up? I'll let people think I'm crazy, but
I'll be honest. This is a tough one.
Oh yeah, these two are. This one's tough too. So we're just to get the East out of the way.
Yeah, this is a tough one because, like I said, UConn is the reigning champ. They look really, really good.
They do.
But like I said, UConn is in the bracket of death. So, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to give a slight edge to Auburn. I'm going to go Auburn.
Yep. I really do agree. And I think Auburn will be one of the best teams UConn's played all year, and they played in the Big East. I think it's going to be kind of an interesting test that they may not be ready for. And Auburn, offensively, like I said, defensively, both in the top 10, the only team in the nation that is like that in the KenPom rankings. So secretly, quietly looking good. Thomas, you have anything for UConn, or you think Auburn?
No, I actually have Auburn beating them. I don't see.
Hell yeah. You guys are just rolling with me. I love it. I love it.
We'll see this one here.
This one's a hard one.
Yeah.
These are the 2 of the most evenly matched teams you could possibly put together in the tournament. I originally thought these 2 teams would be 2 of my Final Four teams until I saw the brackets. Illinois and Iowa State. I don't know who has the edge here, to be honest.
I'm gonna be honest.
Iowa State probably.
I'll be real with you. Iowa State, because I pulled up the little preview thing that you could do on here. Iowa State 6-5 versus the top 25. Illinois 1-4. But here's the more telling stat: opponents' points per game. And I know this because Iowa State plays really good defense. Iowa State opponents PPG
play the best adjusted defense in the KenPom rankings in the nation.
They do, yes.
But their offense is 57.
Iowa State's opponents PPG 61.3. Illinois 73.8. That we're looking at a 12-point difference. That right there tells me all I need to know. I'm going to go Iowa State.
Illinois is the number 2 adjusted offense in the nation compared to 92nd defensively. Like I said, really close, but you're right. I give the edge just slightly to Iowa State. Thomas, do you have a counteract?
I'm going to be honest. I have Iowa State going. By hearing those reasonings, I'm just going to say defense wins championships, run Iowa State. That's what I'll run.
There you go. All right, gentlemen, we have this matchup of Auburn, Iowa State. You already know where I'm going. I'm going Auburn.
So am I.
They just offensively, defensively, they're better. I know Iowa State has the number 1 adjusted defense in the nation, but Auburn has top 10 in both. And Iowa State on offense can get lost. They've already gone through the gauntlet. They just had to beat Illinois. Obviously, Drake won't be that, So I think as much as you say defense does win championships,
well, when you have 2 top 10 for both
in a tournament like this, it does not, because you got to rely on your offense to score. And that's the problem with Iowa State. Yes, their defense played good through the conference tournament, but they got to keep on going. I have Auburn winning.
Well, did you say Auburn's top 10 in both?
Yes. They're the only team that's top
10. Defense wins championships until you play a top 10 team in both. And they're good in both sides. So I'll take Auburn too, 100%.
And no one's talking about it, and that's why they've been kind of my sleeper team I've been doing research on all week. Every team,
I also think Auburn beat UConn. I don't think they can lose to Iowa State.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing between Auburn and Iowa State. In honesty, like if it does come down to this and the odds come out, this is a straight pick'em game. I mean, you're talking versus the top 25. Auburn was 4-3. Iowa State was 6-5. The BPI rank is 4 versus 6. Both 13-5 in the conference. This is a pick'em. Oh, I think I'm gonna go Auburn by a smidge. This is one of those games I could totally see ending on a buzzer beater.
I wonder what the spread will be for that.
I know I wish there was a way that you would know. Yeah, we'll have to find out because our bracket's going to be perfect. So when it gets there, we'll know exactly what we're doing.
I like that.
All right, let's speed this one up a little bit faster here. I know that was a tougher bracket. This one's a little bit more straightforward, I feel. North Carolina and the winners from last night, Wagner. Can we just all agree that North Carolina just moves on there?
I'll tell you what, just say next. We're good.
Yeah.
As far as the spread for that one, which I will put on MondayNightRants.com, so you guys speed up, I believe it's 24.5. And again, this is one of those where 50% of the public is going on Wagner. I'd be willing to take the 24.5 here, and to be honest, on these, as they win more times than they lose in these big spread 1 versus 16. Mississippi, Michigan State. I actually have Michigan State in this one. Just looking at the numbers, they're actually the better team on paper. Mississippi State struggled early on in the season and had a good run towards the end to get the 8th seed. At one point, they're on the bubble. I kind of like Michigan State in this one as another 9-8 upset. Heavy T.
This one is pretty close. So Michigan State is the minus 1.5 favorite. So this one is pretty close. Minus 113 on the money line. I think I probably agree with that. I think Michigan State barely ekes it out. Also, a Spartan would kill a bulldog. Just throwing that out there.
I saw Thomas's head nod too. So we'll go ahead and move that one in.
Yeah, I think I'll do it.
Oh, Heavy T, Thomas. The 12 always beats the 5. The 12 always beats the 5. Well, not last year. 12 versus 5, Grand Canyon versus St. Mary's. A lot of people are looking at Grand Canyon here against the St. Mary's team that literally looks like all three of us start for them. But they play good basketball. They won their conference, and that team plays really good defensively. They're good on the perimeter, and they make threes. Grand Canyon, not a slouch. I believe this is the 3rd straight year in the tournament. They're just dominating the WAC, whatever's left of it. But I'm on St. Mary's here. I'm not giving in to the Grand Canyon, which I thought was an online school. How do they have a basketball team? I'm not even.
No, it is not to be confused with the University of Phoenix. Grand Canyon is a separate university.
Okay, fair enough. I'm taking St. Mary's. What do you guys think? 5.5 point favorites right now, and 56% of the public is on Grand Canyon. Get the hell out of there! I'm taking
St. Mary's is, like you said, 5.5 point favorite, minus 245 on the money line. However, I will join the public, and this is purely out of bias because my brother went to Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon wins this game.
Thomas, put him in his place, please.
No, it's funny. I'll be honest. Like I told you, I don't know much about this. I just went on Twitter. I actually have Grand Canyon, but I do not like taking the public. So I will be switching my vote to St. Mary's.
Oh, come on,
after hearing the public. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's cold.
St. Mary's, the Gales, baby. By the way, what's the mascot for Grand Canyon? What are they, coyote or something?
Dude. Lopes up, baby. Antelopes, lopes up.
Okay.
Would an antelope beat a Gale in a fight? I don't know. It's St.
I looked at a Gale. It just looks like a very strong white guy. So, yeah, an antelope is probably superior.
No, a.k.a. the starting lineup for St. Mary's basketball team. Okay, got it. All right, Alabama at Charleston. Alabama, I'm not high on. I actually have St. Mary's going to the Sweet 16 in my bracket over Alabama and winning this game. But Charleston's kind of a sneaky team. They're a fast tempo pace team. Alabama's been kind of really up and down towards the end of the season. Florida made it look stupid. I'm not high on them, but I think they win this game. But I'm actually I'm not taking the full points. Heavy T, what's the points of this? I don't remember what it is, but
Alabama is favored by 9.5, minus 465 on the money line.
Yeah, I'm taking Alabama to win, but Charleston to cover.
I'm going to sprinkle on this game, to be honest with you. I'm very tiny, very, very tiny, but this is one of the upset games that I will sprinkle on. I heard Alabama gives up a lot of points. I heard, Charleston
Alabama also scores. They're the number one scoring as far as points per game in the nation. However, their defense is absolutely, and I mean absolutely, atrocious.
Yeah.
So they also give up a ton of points.
I will go Alabama in the bracket, though.
So to throw this out there, just for future reference, because I do have Alabama versus Grand Canyon, just throwing that out there. Alabama has 90.8 points per game, but they give up 81.1. 25. Alabama was a nice little 2-7. So honestly, as a number 4 seed, little misleading.
Yes. That's why I have St. Mary's beating them in the next round, but we'll get there. But can we just agree they beat Charleston? But
yeah, we can go. Yeah. I just wanted to say the sprinkle
fine.
thing. I just want to say it's a good sprinkle, I feel like.
Okay.
Clemson, New Mexico. I could never turn down sprinkles. So
what day is this game?
Clemson, New Mexico is Friday, 3:10 Eastern.
Hey, what's the spread on that one? Because I have an upset here.
So we have New Mexico actually favored by 2.5. The 11.
Everyone's on to me. I have New Mexico winning this game. Clemson sucks, dude. The committee or the AP, whatever, they keep on trying to rank them in the top 25, and every time they do, they just screw it. They just screw it up, and this New Mexico team is a really good team. I think they're the ones who ended up winning the Mountain West, right? And there's 5 teams from the Mountain West in this. Still,
I believe so. Yes.
They got some good bigs, good point guard play. I think New Mexico upset.
So points per game, real quick. Clemson is at 77.4. New Mexico is at 81.5. Opponents' points per game. Clemson allows 71.3. New Mexico only allows 70.5. I think you're correct on this. I'm going to go ahead and go New Mexico.
And looking at the Ken Palm, too, it's not even close. That's because New Mexico was really solid towards the end of the season. And Clemson is a roller coaster of a team to follow. There's no way they can win that many games in a row to ever win a championship the way they're playing. Thomas, you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't have much research on this one. I'll go New Mexico. I don't know.
All right, there you go. The Baylor Bears versus toothpaste. I'm going with Baylor here. Every T, what do you got?
This one's easy. Baylor, come on.
Yeah, and also the spread is 13.5. I'm also taking that as well.
That means that Baylor's probably losing now that we've all agreed on it. So just that's
I know, right? Yeah. Dayton, Nevada. I'm going with the Mountain West team here. I'm taking Nevada. I think they're underseeded and Dayton's overseeded. I think Nevada should be a 7 and Dayton should be a 10. To be honest, I'm taking Nevada here in the upset.
So this is definitely another pick'em game. Nevada's favored by 1.5.
They're favored?
120. They are favored by 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm taking them to win. Dayton's way overseeded and Nevada's underseeded.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I think I'll take Dayton as well.
Wait, Nevada, not Dayton, right?
Sorry, I'll take Nevada. Sorry. Yes, you're correct.
Thomas, you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Arizona, and this is the greatest story in all of college basketball right now. A week before the tournament, Long Beach State fired their coach and said, "Hey, it's okay, bro. Don't cry. We'll let you continue to coach the rest of the year through the tournament because we're not going to the NCAA tournament until they did." With that being said, Arizona is one of my favorite teams in this whole tournament. It's a great story for Long Beach State. He's going to go out of his career getting absolutely blown out by Arizona. I think we all agree Arizona wins this game, and I think by 30.
Crushes me, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me.
You're a Long Beach State fan, but
I was born.
I am not.
So it crushes, but they're not going to win.
Arizona is favored by 19.5 minus
Over.
4,000 on the money line.
Yeah, I am taking the 19.5. I am taking that 19.5, and I run. Go put right now before you do anything. I will finish watching this show, and then go put money on Arizona to win by 19.5 right away because that is going to happen.
So I will say this real quick, is that, yes, I completely agree that Arizona is going to win this game. However, in the mascot bracket, a shark beats a wildcat. I'm just throwing that out there. So Long Beach State has something going for them.
Are they sharks?
Their mascot popped up as a shark, so I'm assuming they're sharks. I don't know what the name of the mascot is.
I thought they were like a gaucho or a banana slug.
No, gaucho is Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara. I know that for a fact.
Way. Long Beach State mascot is a shark? Oh,
I thought it was like a minor.
Oh, it's
like
an LB.
like a minor, right, or something?
It's LB the Shark.
What?
LB the Shark. There you go. LB the Shark. There you go.
Okay.
So yes, Sharks do beat Wildcats in my mascot bracket. So there is that. Real quick, going back to Nevada Dayton. So if you wanted any more convincing that Nevada does possibly pull off the upset on this game, versus the top 25, Dayton 0-1, Nevada 3-1. Very surprising right there.
That's right, because a lot of those teams were the Mountain West, and they were actually the number 2 seed coming out of the tournament. I think Utah State was number 1, but more on them later. All right, let's finish up this bracket real quick. North Carolina, Michigan State. We have no betting lines, so we're just picking what we know. I think North Carolina wins this. Michigan State, great story that they beat Mississippi State, who's a great story, but North Carolina's just too talented, and they have a good mixture of young players and also old players like Baycott still around that can help this. And I think, I love Izzo, I love that, but Michigan State, come on now. North Carolina. Heavy T, Thomas, we all say yay?
Yeah. North Carolina wins. Yeah,
yay.
That's easy.
Okay. Now, this is what I have St. Mary's winning this game. I have the group of us, the Gales, going in and just, with Alabama not knowing how to play defense or cover the perimeter. I think St. Mary's just drains threes on them. And they remember I said they play really good perimeter defense. Well, guess what? The Alabama offense can have little problems here. I think
You said St. Mary's was a bunch of white boys, right?
They are their entire starting lineup.
And you said did they shoot the 3-ball well?
Oh, of course.
Then I'll run St. Mary's.
and play great perimeter defense. Jeez.
Fundamental.
Yeah. And they beat Gonzaga, which is the other ultimate all-white boy team.
Oh, yeah.
I will say we both agree on this because while I don't have St. Mary's advancing to play Alabama, I do have Alabama losing to Grand Canyon in the second round.
Oh,
Grand Canyon will be a 12 seed to make the Sweet 16. No, just hear me out for a second. So, like I said, versus top 25, Grand Canyon 1-0. They only faced one team this year. Alabama, they faced. I don't know who it was. We'll get back to that later.
Was it early in the season where they were ranked 25th and now they're no longer in the tournament? Let's
just look at numbers. We don't need to look at schedule. Let's just look at numbers. Right?
Okay.
Alabama did face nine.
Yes.
Top 25 teams went 2-7.
And they definitely gave up the most points to those teams too.
Grand Canyon, just throwing this on there, those boys can throw down the clamps. They're only 66.9 a point in support per game. So it could happen, man.
When is it in Arizona too?
I
don't know what
this is
the final is in the final is
okay,
Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm not putting Grand Canyon there. Not
I was gonna say if it is in Arizona.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna throw this out there. If Grand Canyon advances to the Sweet 16,
okay,
I want $50 from both of you with a note that says, "I'm sorry, Heavy T, you are all knowing and wise."
I'll do that.
I think it should be more fun. I'll just give you the show and let you host for one night.
Ooh. Okay, $50 from Thomas.
It'll be Monday Night Rants with Heavy T.
$50 from Thomas with a note that says you are all knowing and wise, and then
Heavy T gets an hour and a half to yell at people.
I'll give you an ad on my Instagram.
Oh yeah, we'll do all that.
Okay.
It'll be your show for one night. You can do whatever you want. You don't even have to have me on.
Okay, yeah, you will be my guest. Okay, great. To the Sweet 16. Okay, I like that action. I'll take that.
But I rant with Heavy T.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
Bunch of wrestling talk, yelling at people for doing.
Oh my god,
Baylor. I have Baylor here. It's not even close. They're 6th in adjusted offense in all the nation, 63rd in defense. And then you look at a team like New Mexico, who I think is a great story. They beat Clemson a little too much with Baylor, though. Now, this could be an upset, too. New Mexico could be one of those sneaky teams that make it to the Sweet 16. I'm not going to lie. But Baylor's just a little bit too much to handle. Looking at the other side of that, to New Mexico. By the way, there's so many New Mexicos. Why is there so many New Mexicos? I thought they were... Stop it with New Mexico. They are 42nd in offense and 22nd in defense. So they are a little bit better overall, but the offense for Baylor a little bit too much for them, I think. I think Baylor wins, but you guys can vote me out of this. I think it would be a trendy pick if it was New Mexico Baylor that New Mexico could move on.
I'm going to throw this out there. I think if it ends up being New Mexico versus Baylor, you're going to have odds on this game, and it is going to be a pick'em game because I'm looking at the stats right now. New Mexico points per game, 81.5.
Yes.
Baylor, 80.5.
80. Yep.
Opponents points per game. New Mexico, 70.5. Baylor,
Yep.
71.2.
Yep.
Versus the top 25, New Mexico 3-3, Baylor 5-5.
Yep.
And then the conference play, New Mexico 10-8, Baylor 11-7. These two teams are very evenly matched. And you know what? I'm going to say New Mexico pulls it off.
I can see it.
Sweet 16.
I can see it. You may change my mind, Thomas. Do you think New Mexico goes to Sweet 16 here? Let's give it up. What are the Lobos? Give it up for the Lobos. Come on, let's do it.
I'm down. I mean, I'm gonna go.
I'm down. He said I'm down. Let's do it.
But I'm down.
New Mexico, baby. I have to change my bracket because I think Heavy T just sold me here. Because no matter what, I have them losing in this game because I think Arizona just again runs away with Nevada.
For the record, a wolf pack will gang up and beat a bear. Just throwing that out there. Anyways.
A bear cat.
Actually, these are the Lobos, which is still technically a wolf cat. Or wait.
Oh, here. I thought you were talking about here. Because,
okay, yeah. Still technically a wolf pack. They'll still beat a bear. Just
Nevada and Arizona is a bear cat versus a wolf pack. I think. Oh, okay. Can we just all agree Arizona probably wins that game?
Look, I'm going to throw this out there. There's too many animal mascots. Okay, we need to trim the fat here. Let's get rid of some. Rename.
Apparently, the Gales is just a tall, lanky white guy. So there's that.
I didn't say it was like he's strong. I didn't say it was
more on the Gales later here. But let's just go over this real quick. I think New Mexico's end runs here. I have Arizona winning. I have them easily in the Elite Eight.
I agree. I think Arizona gets to the Elite Eight, beats New Mexico.
And then North Carolina.
I agree. Yes, 1 versus 2. The Grand Canyon run tragically ends at the hands of North Carolina. But North Carolina versus Arizona in the Elite Eight with the spots that go to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Thomas, you may have to fight us out here with this one. I have Arizona going to the Final Four. North Carolina's a great team. They beat Duke twice this season. Arizona, before their loss to Oregon in the tournament, which Oregon just had to go on an immaculate run where it mattered, where it didn't really matter for Arizona. They knew they were in no matter what. It may have cost them a 1 seed, not going to lie. But this Arizona team and the revenge narrative, because their star player, Caleb Love, was a transfer from North Carolina, now for Arizona. But this Arizona team is deeper. This Arizona team is better. And I love, was it Hubert? To be honest, the Arizona team's better coached. And I'm going Arizona going to the Final Four. Heavy T?
I'm actually going to switch it up a little bit because this is what matters.
Grand Canyon?
No. Well, no. Grand Canyon loses to North Carolina. Let's just make that very clear here. Right. No. So when we have UNC versus Arizona, the 1 versus 2, this is what matters to me right here. Versus the top 25, Arizona 3-3, respectable. North Carolina 6-2. That is what matters to me right there. That tells me that you can.
It's also when those teams were in the top 25. Where are they now?
It doesn't matter if you win now or if you win later. You won. That's all that matters to me during the season. I think that's just my way of thinking about it. You going 6-2 versus the top 25 tells me that you can play with the best of the blessed and you're calm under pressure. So I'm going to take North Carolina.
Arizona is 8th overall in the nation in adjusted offense and 11th in adjusted defense. They're the closest team besides Auburn to both being in the top 10 in both those categories. Looking over at North Carolina, on the other hand, where are they? North Carolina, they are 24th in offense and 6th in defense. So better defense, but 24th. So the offense for Arizona is just a little bit better, and that's what I kind of have. By the way, this will probably be a pick of game 2 as well. Thomas, you are the tiebreaker here. Are you going with a Tar Heel beats a Bearcat in a fight, or does a Bearcat or Wildcat? What is Arizona? Wildcats or Bearcats? What are they? Bearcats is Cincinnati. This is a Wildcat. Or does a Wildcat beat a Tar Heel? What are we doing here, Thomas?
Because of absolutely not one thing of strategy, but because I have a lot of friends that go to Arizona, I am gonna rock with Arizona.
Let's go! You gotta do better. You gotta better lobbying over there. Heavy.
To be fair, sometimes it really just because your bracket really does come down to something stupid like, I picked this team because I have more friends that go there. I picked Grand Canyon to go to the Sweet 16 based on the fact that my brother went there for 4 years and graduated. So
Well, again, and these brackets, a lot of it does come down to luck and just going off the cuff. And that's how you get the best bracket.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Yeah.
If you just win all favorites, you'll never win. So I love it. Okay,
I think we're pretty interesting so far. We're not like
we have a number 4 and a number 2 in our final 4, which is fair.
I have a 4 and a 1, just throwing that out there, but that's just me. Okay. Anyways, real quick, fun fact: if you always want to remember what Arizona's mascot is, if you go back to the movie Speed, Dustin Hoffman calls Sandra Bullock a Wildcat because she has the University of Arizona logo on her jacket. So that's how I remember.
I was thinking a High School Musical.
We're moving on. We are moving on.
If you could literally just show our age right now, Speed was the first rated R movie I've ever seen. Yeah, I've never seen an episode of High School Musical.
It was a movie before a TV show, but I think we just showed the generational gap on this show specifically.
Whatever,
so.
Yeah.
I didn't know they came out with a TV show. That's kind of crazy. I
thought
it was 4 or 3 movies.
Okay, moving on. Speaking of High School Musical, Longwood is facing Houston. I think Houston. Now, Houston's a very interesting team. Number 2 adjusted defense in the nation, but the offense is where I think they struggle. And to play that great of defense, but keep the offense up enough when you start getting later in this tournament is going to be rough for them. But until then, I think they win this game. But I'm interested in the spread on this one, Heavy T, because now we got to go back to spreads. If it's like 21 or 22, I may take Longwood and the points here in a 1 versus 16.
I am looking right now. Give me 1 second.
Honestly,
I thought we were so set on Houston that I skipped it. Houston is favored by 23.5.
Yeah, I would definitely take Longwood and the 23. I think, they maybe a 20-point win, 19-point win. Not close, but Houston's they just clamper down defensively, and they're a great team. I know they made the move to the Big 12 this year, and they played admirably, but they don't blow out teams. They just have really good defense, but they sometimes struggle to score offense. So I think Houston wins, but I think Longwood covers. I think we all agree. So we can move on.
I don't know about the covering, but I do agree on Houston winning.
Yeah.
I will say this, that when I have seen a couple of Houston games this year, when Houston is on defensively, they are on, and they will just smother you and kill you.
Yeah, but again, as we get later in this bracket, you'll come to find out when they play better offenses, they also have to play offense too to keep up with them, even though as good as their defense is. I think they get in trouble with a certain team that rhymes with puke. But anyways, until we get there, Nebraska and Texas A&M. This is a 1.5-point game right now in the favor of Nebraska. Obviously, a 9 versus 8. I have Nebraska winning in this. I took 2 9s in the other bracket. I'm taking the 8 in this one. Nebraska just a better overall team than Texas A&M. Texas A&M tries to rely on their big man too much, who's always in foul trouble, and then they get in trouble. I think Nebraska's just more well-around better team, and I'm going Nebraska in that realm.
I'm going to say this about both teams. I don't like either Nebraska or Texas A&M that much.
Yeah, they both kind of stink.
But I did find out something interesting the other day, that Nebraska to this day, as of now, is still the only top or the only Power 5 school to never win an NCAA tournament game. And I think that streak ends.
Wait, Nebraska?
Yes, that is correct.
That can't be real. They've never won an NCAA tournament game?
Let me double check that, because I saw that on an ESPN IG post. Do not quote me. If you are mad at them, please yell at them, not me. Give me
I
1
will
second.
yell at them right now.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
I think they won a championship. You're right. Nebraska is the only Power 5 program to have never won a game in the NCAA tournament. Are you kidding? Let's go, Nebraska! We're going Nebraska, and I'm taking the points. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Nebraska on this one, because I actually saw Texas A&M play 1 or 2 games, and they are not good. So yeah,
would a Cornhusker beat an Aggie in a fight?
Well, actually, yes, because here's why. I looked up what a Cornhusker is. It's an actual person. I looked up what an Aggie is. It's like a border collie type dog. And I'm not saying a human should beat a dog, but the Cornhusker wins. Okay?
Cornhuskers get their first ever West. That is an insane stat, Heavy T. Thanks for bringing that to the table.
Oh, you're welcome, sir.
Okay. If I have to, all I'm reading everywhere, James Madison. Wisconsin wins this game. It's not even close. James Madison, yes. Look at the record. Look at this. Look at that. They were really good at the beginning of the year, and they played some crap teams. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Us three can beat Fresno State by 20. Okay, I get it. Everybody and their mom is on James Madison, and I'm not. I think Wisconsin is actually a really good team, and they will give Duke in the next round a lot of. But Wisconsin wins this game, and what's the spread on this one? I think, and it's crazy.
It's only 5.5 actually. It's
exactly. I think I take the 5.5 and Wisconsin all day. No brainer. You know what? I'm going to put money on that right now. Let me just contact Otani's translator real quick.
Oh, jeez. Ipe, why'd you do what you did, man? Why'd you do that? No, so I have interest in this game basically because it pitted the two hosts of Pardon My Take against each other, Big Cat and BFT, and I think that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, Wisconsin I think wins this game.
By a lot. By a lot.
I won't even necessarily say that. Like I think I might take Wisconsin on the points. But I think Wisconsin wins by less than 10.
Wisconsin is 12th in adjusted offense and 50th in adjusted defense. Okay.
Wisconsin gets a couple
12th in offense in the
good.
Nation. 12th in the nation. Wisconsin, the nation.
Like I said,
James
I'm picking Wisconsin, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm picking Wisconsin, but we'll see.
James Madison is 55th in offense in the nation and 79th in defense. And their schedule, their strength of schedule, 293rd. Wisconsin, the 5.5, the easiest money you could make. I think Thomas is going to put money on that right now, by the way.
Yeah, I'm going to run a 2-leg parlay with Arizona.
I'll give you Ipe's number. You can give him a call.
Jeez.
He has a lot of time on his hands.
That's so sad. That's so sad. Oh, it's so sad.
Are we going to get this done in 2 hours? Probably not. The Duke
Probably not.
Blue Devils, who would apparently win everybody's, unless they were playing the Sun Devils. That'd be crazy. But no Arizona State this year versus the Vermont Catamounts. This is another one that people are kind of interested in. And Duke's kryptonite all year, I'm not going to lie, is literally North Carolina. This Duke team is still really good, and they're kind of built for like North Carolina. They're kind of built. They still have the freshmen, the young superstars, but they still have some older players that have been around. Flipowski's really good. And this Vermont teams, they're a fast-paced team, but again, the strength of schedule, who they played. This Duke is just a bigger, better team. They're going to run the glass, run the rebounding. I think Duke wins. I think the spread is actually closer than what I thought it was, too, when I looked at it. 12.5. I'm taking Duke at the 12.5 in this one. And a lot of people are on Vermont, actually. I'm just like, nah.
No, I would take Duke. I think it's Duke.
And Thomas?
Yeah, I think it's Duke. But yeah, I think it's Duke. Yeah.
Duke, there it is. Texas Tech, NC State. The NC State thing, come on, dude. It's over. It's done. What a great run. What a fantastic way to go into. Oh, by the way, Duquesne over here. I forgot to show the video. I was going to show it, but in their championship, when there was 17 minutes left in halftime, and Duquesne was actually down, somebody pressed the button and the confetti started coming down on the floor. There was 17 minutes.
Oh, I did see that.
And
that was pretty funny.
And it was the Duquesne colors, so it's rigged. I have Texas Tech in this one. I mean, this is a great story it's just by North Carolina State. I just don't. They had to win to get in. They're not that great of a team. Texas Tech is a really good team, really good defensively. Who would have thought? That they always are. But I think this is going to be a close grinder, and I think Texas Tech wins and ends this run. They're 23 offensively, 40th defensively, and then North Carolina State again. They backed it to the tournament with a win. We don't. Unless you guys think otherwise, you think this magical run is going to continue?
No, I think Texas Tech shuts them down pretty easily.
Yeah, what's the spread of this one? I can't find. I'm trying to find it right now. What the game on Friday?
1 second.
I could just go through my notes because I already have my bets written down, but I'm not. I'm doing it the hard way because I'm an idiot.
Texas Tech is favored by 4.5 minus 188 on the money line.
And 60% of the public is believing the NC State narrative at going plus 4.5.
That's fully on the run of a Cinderella story in the conference.
Yeah, I'm taking Texas Tech at the 4.5, and I just checked my notes and they have that there too as well. So, All right, shout out to everybody who's still watching, keeping along with us here. We're doing the best we can. We're trying to have fun with
Shout out to the 9 people. We're getting there. Work in progress. Those 9 people, you are the real ones. I don't care if you're all porn bots. You're all the real ones.
We get all of our views after the fact anyways, but we're good.
Yeah,
Kentucky and Oakland. By the way, this isn't California. Kentucky, I have dominating this game. Can we agree?
Yeah, very quickly.
I think we move on to Florida / the winner of this game later.
Yeah, what's the score right now? I think it's at halftime, right?
So it just went into halftime. Colorado is up by 2, 26-24.
Okay. Interesting, this matchup. If Colorado, by the way, this is a closer matchup than people think. If Colorado wins this game, they actually have a better matchup against Florida where I think Colorado could beat Florida. But if Boise State wins, then I have Florida winning. So it all to now. So I'm going to go on the limb and say Colorado does win. And if they do, I'm picking Colorado to beat Florida. I don't know what the spread is. Obviously, we don't have a spread. Boise State wins, I'm picking Florida. But either way, I think Marquette dominates for 3 of these teams. So what do you guys want to do here? Just move Florida for now?
I'll go. I actually want Colorado for now.
I agree.
I think I'll leave it at that. And I agree. Marquette beats Western Kentucky.
Yeah, the Hilltoppers. Yeah, Marquette. I am
Shout
going deep.
out to Big Red, the mascot. He's cool. That's it.
What's the spread on that one, too? I think that's like a 23.5.
Marquette versus Western Kentucky. Give me one.
A lot of people are talking about Western Kentucky like I think they're the fastest tempo team in the nation. Let me see the adjustment.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about Western Kentucky, and this is why you have an eBay type problem. Okay, like
they are.
Call the gambler out.
They are the number 1 tempo team in the nation, so that means that they play the fastest, right? So they
number 1 tempo, but Marquette is favored by 14.5. So do with that.
But the adjusted offense, they're 189th in the nation, and their defense is 103rd. You compare that to Marquette, so yeah, fast tempo here. But you compare that to Marquette. What was the spread on that again?
14.5.
I'd hammer that 14.5.
I'm hammering it. I am hammering that. Marquette is 22nd on offense, 20th on defense, and their tempo, they slow it down a little bit. They play at a. Oh, I just lost him. They play at their tempo's 90th, so they're a slower team. But again, their defense is so much better that they're not just going to allow them to run up and down the floor. So I'm going to hammer that. Marquette. Okay, let's finish this bracket. Oh, did we finish it? Yeah, we did. Okay, Houston, Nebraska. I have Houston obviously winning.
I have Houston winning as well, yes.
Wisconsin, Duke. I have Duke winning this game.
Oh, see, this is the thing. I have Wisconsin actually winning this game. Duke.
Why? Give it to me, baby bird.
I think... First off, I love that nickname. Love that. Might get a jersey with that name on it. Second, Duke, I feel like outside of Flipowski, they're not that good. I think they're average at best. So I'm actually going to take Wisconsin to win this game.
Interesting you say that. Duke is 7th offensively in adjusted and 25th defensively. And again, Wisconsin is 13th and 48th defensively. The defense for Wisconsin is where I think they're going to slip up there. I think Duke wins in a close one. Thomas, you're the tiebreaker.
To be honest, man, I got a buddy who's a diehard Duke fan. He's been a diehard Duke fan all his life. But no, I'm not saying Duke because of that. He is very against Duke this year. He has no faith in his team this year. We had conversations actually about it on Friday. I don't know if the loss comes here against Wisconsin. So if you want to move them, you can. I don't have a lot of research, but I'm not heavy on Duke, so we can go either way.
All right, there we go. Texas Tech, Kentucky.
Sorry, real quick. This one kind of it's very influential in my bracket because here's my thing. If Wisconsin wins this game, Houston goes to the Elite Eight.
Correct. If Duke wins, Duke upsets Houston.
If Duke wins this game, I do have them upset Houston, and they go into the Elite Eight.
That's what I have. I have Duke upsetting Houston, and I'll tell you exactly why.
Yeah, this is a super influential game.
Well, let's go down here, though. We still got to go down here. We'll get back there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm stressing. Okay, cool. Go ahead.
Texas Tech, Kentucky. I got Kentucky. I don't think it's close.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one, Kentucky.
And I have Marquette moving on as well.
Also agree, Marquette.
Okay. Now we can talk about it. So you say if it's Wisconsin, you think Houston obviously goes to late. If it's Duke, you think Duke will upset Houston because of the rate of play and the match? Because I agree.
So if it's Wisconsin going in, I think Wisconsin can suffer from too much of a lull in the middle of their games.
Mm-hmm.
But ironically, if it's Duke that beats Wisconsin, Houston suffers from a little bit of a lull in their games. Like they cannot score. They're not a great scoring team.
That's what I've been saying.
Team,
yeah,
but they're not a great scoring team.
And this is where they start to get in trouble, especially because you got Kentucky or Marquette coming up if you win this game too, and they're not winning that one.
And I'm gonna be really honest. I really hate you right now because I was leaning Wisconsin. And I think I'm going Duke, and I absolutely hate you for that.
A Blue Devil will beat the crap out of a Badger.
Unfortunately,
you know it.
Yes. So the Blue Devil, they beat the Badgers, they beat the Cougars, they go on.
You have Duke winning this game.
They go on to face the winner of Kentucky Marquette. And I have Kentucky because Marquette's head coach is Shaka Smart, and this dude chokes every single time. So yeah, Kentucky.
I have Marquette, and I have Marquette going to the Final Four. And hold yourself. Shaka Smart has also been to the Final Four when he was the coach of VCU.
VCU,
Let's not get crazy.
That's how he got big in the first place. But you know what the difference is? You know what the difference is between then and now? He had hair then. He doesn't have hair now.
Okay.
I will tell you one of my, and I feel sorry saying this because you're slightly getting that way, but I will tell you one of my greatest pieces of life advice: do not trust the bald. Do not do it. Do not trust the bald.
I can't wait till you're bald.
It's coming, man. Don't worry. It's coming.
That'll be my excuse for everything. Don't listen to this man. Wisconsin, he's bald.
Don't trust the man. He's bald.
I have Marquette top 20 in both offensive and defensive adjusted rankings. High tempo team. I do trust Shaka Smart. He has taken teams that shouldn't have been deeper, like Texas, and now Marquette. The Marquette team last year was highly ranked, was really one of the teams everyone was all on. They brought everyone back. Obviously, UConn's their kryptonite, but guess what? UConn's on the other side of the freaking bracket. And we look at Kentucky. They are 5th offensively. And here's where Kentucky's going to struggle here. Adjusted defense, 109th. And that's where I think this game gets kind of a little out of whack and Marquette pulls them out. So I have Marquette. Because the Kentucky defense just can't be trusted. Thomas, are you a Golden Eagle or are you a Wildcat?
I like Rob Dillingham, but I'm going Marquette.
See, Heavy T, you got to lobby. You got to lobby young Thomas over here. You got to lobby.
Look, when I'm hosting in the show 2 weeks, you will both be answering to me.
Wait, Grant, I'm going to call it, like, I'm going to make the thumbnail. It's going to be like Heavy T's Grant Cat.
No, you know what I want? Like, what I want for the thumbnail, it just says Monday Night Rants with the Prophet, number 1. And number 2, I want myself photoshopped in the Pope's outfit. Like, this is going to...
And the best part, give 0 bets. Just don't give any picks away.
Monday Night Rants with quotes the Prophet and then AKA His Holiness. Okay, I fully expect that to happen.
I can't wait to SEO that one up. All right, Duke and Marquette. I have Marquette, guys. I have Marquette going to the Final Four for the reasons I just told you. They're top 20 in both offensive and defense adjusted efficiency. Duke, again, they do kind of struggle when it comes to one man being kind of the team. And just the overall better team is Marquette. And this couldn't play out better for them because I think Houston would give them a little bit more fits. But and even if it was Houston, I would still have Marquette here. I have Marquette going to the Final Four.
I have Kentucky winning that game, so I have Kentucky in the Final Four.
Better Thomas, Duke or Marquette?
No, I got Marquette. I don't like Duke.
There you go.
I don't like Jared McCain.
The only difference we have here now is Marquette versus Kentucky, which is close. And I do agree with Heavy T that those are the best 2 teams with the best 2 chances to get through to the Final Four. However, they have to play each other in the Elite 8. So either one of those, I think you could flip-flop between Marquette or Kentucky. So, but we're going Marquette with this because Thomas is the almighty decisive maker. All right, let's try to go a little bit around this one. Obviously, this will be Grambling. We have no odds on here. Let's just go ahead and put in Purdue. Utah State and TCU. Now, I was been back and forth on this one a little bit. Probably close odds, I'd imagine. Utah State was the number 1 seed in the Mountain West, which was what we've learned from the committee. Well, we've also learned a lot from the committee negatively too, but is that the Mountain West is a good conference. But I actually have TCU winning this game.
Yeah, so TCU's oh, sorry, putting myself on mute right there. TCU is favored by -4.5 for this game. Also, real quick, FanDuel does have odds on Purdue Grambling. Purdue is favored by 25.5.
I may. Grambling just. I just watched this game right now. They have no size. Edie's gonna go 20 and 20 in the first half.
Like, so what you're saying is Edie's gonna put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. That's what you're saying.
Yes, he's gonna put up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar numbers, my friend.
There you go.
And that guy looks a lot like Zubac. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I saw a picture of him and I was like, is that Zubac's little brother?
If Zubac was half Asian, he would look exactly like that. I may change my tune, man. I think I like Utah State in this one.
I have Utah State, but I don't have a reasoning. I just took Utah State.
I think in this one I'm gonna go TCU by a hair.
I'm on the fence. Either way, whichever one of these great teams gets the matchup against Purdue, they're going to get annihilated. So this one is kind of like a flip of the coin. I'm going to go Utah State, though. Why not? Okay. Oh, God. Another 5 versus 12. McNeese. They're so good. Who the fuck is McNeese? I'm taking Gonzaga, dude. I'm not following this narrative of the 12 versus 5 and the McNeese. What are they? The McNeese Mustangs? What kind of?
I do not remember. Gonzaga is favored by 6.5.
That's it.
I'd take that.
Jesus Christ!
I'm picking McNeese to win this game. Gonna be honest, I'm picking McNeese to win.
Okay, there's
I already have it in here.
Okay, there's no way.
Actually, this was the team I saw on ESPN the other day, and I was like 30-3. I was like,
yeah. They're pretty good.
Oh, they do average 80 points per game. Opponent 61-69. So
dude, they haven't played someone in the top 25.
Yeah, they haven't played a single team in the top 25.
Their BPI 17-1 in the conference. 17-1 in the conference.
What conference is McNeese in?
McNeese is in the McNeese conference. The only one that matters, baby. Let's go.
No wonder they're undefeated in the conference. That spread is a little low for me. I'm taking Gonzaga, dude. I'm sorry. Are you really taking McNeese?
Yeah, I really am. I'm taking McNeese.
Do you know anything about McNeese? By the way, you and 60% of the public. Holy crap.
The only thing I know about McNeese is that their logo looks like a bucking bronco on a cowboy, and they have a lowercase c in between a capital M and a capital N. That's what I know about them.
Okay. Thomas, I think I've lobbied enough here. Okay,
I'm going Gonzaga.
Now, interesting one. Samford versus Kansas. Kansas is without their star player. Was it McCullough? McCullough, I think. Out for the whole tournament. He's been out for a week or so now anyways. So everyone's kind of saying, well, where do we go from here with them? Obviously, Samford, they are who, whatever. They won their conference tournament. Congratulations. But even without him, Kansas is still a really good team. I think Kansas wins. But I'm interested in the spread on this one only because, God damn it, why do I always get do you guys always get Kansas and Kentucky mixed up as well? It's 6.5, and yet 60% of the people are on Samford just because one of their players is not healthy. However, have you met the rest of the team of Kansas and how they recruit? I think they'll be fine against the Samford. What is that? Is that a terrier? A bulldog? What is that?
Bulldog.
I think they'll be fine against Samford. However, I don't think Kansas goes very far because they've had some bad losses. Like, they've had some good wins, but their losses are really bad.
Yeah, but that's correct. But they also happen to be in the weakest bracket. More on that later. So we have Kansas winning. I guess Samford.
That is going to be one of my sprinkles, though. I will say I have a couple of sprinkles, and that will be one of them.
Of Samford. Okay. A little Salt Bay. A little Salt Bay on that one on Stanford. I'm taking the -6.5. I think just as a team, Kansas is too good. South Carolina and Oregon. I have an upset here. I actually think Oregon wins this game. Oregon powered their way. Yeah. They powered their way through the Pac-12.
I have Oregon.
The way that their center, Dante, is playing right now, he hasn't missed a shot in 2 straight games, and it's not like he's taking 2 shots. He's like 22 and 22. And he's absolutely dominated Arizona and then dominated Colorado single-handedly, won that game in the second half. South Carolina just can't contain it. What's the spread on that one? It's probably Oregon's probably favored, not going to lie.
If I'm going to be honest with you, let me ask you, what do you think the spread is? Without looking, what do you think the spread is?
Probably -1.5 Oregon.
Other way around, -1.5 South Carolina. Oh. But it's straight. It really is a pick'em game, dude.
Oregon money line, yeah.
Oregon money line is -106. South Carolina money line is -113. It's a pick'em.
Got it. Here's one of those teams I really like. Sneakily is that's the Creighton.
Yep, me too.
I
Blue Jays.
straight up thought you were going to say Akron.
Jesus. 12th in offense in the nation, 24th in defense. Solid number. Akron, not a fan of. Creighton all day. I have Creighton going pretty far in this tournament. More on that later. Oregon Creighton, which is interesting because the coach of Oregon is Dana Altman, who used to be the coach of Creighton. What's the spread on that Akron Creighton game there, Heavy T?
Give me 1 second to look it up.
I lost it. Oh, there it is. -13.5 Creighton. I'm taking it.
Yeah, there it is.
I'll take that.
Texas and Colorado State. Colorado State had a walk-in last night after beating a really bad Virginia team against the Texas team here. Now, I like Colorado State. A lot of people, I think, are going to take what they did to Virginia and say, man, I'm going to put some money on them as an underdog against Texas. However, that was Virginia. And Virginia shouldn't even been in the tournament. And there's 4 other teams I can name right now that would give Colorado State a run for the money and probably won. I'm actually taking Texas in this one. Texas is the better team on paper. All around.
Texas is the better team. I got to stop muting myself when I'm unmuted. Texas is the better team. They are -2.5 on this game.
That is it?
I like that.
Yeah, it's only -2.5. Colorado State +2.5.
Heavy T, who are you picking?
I have Colorado State winning this game. I'm not going to lie. It's not even based off last night. They've actually looked pretty decent throughout the season. I'll take Colorado State.
Thomas, do I have to say anything to you, or are we going Texas together?
We're going. I feel like I've been against Heavy T, and there's no research. There's no research in this Heavy T whatsoever. I just have Texas already in the bracket. So
y'all seeing this crap I put up with every week, dude? Y'all seeing this? Like,
who wins? Who wins, a volunteer or a peacock?
Hey, low-key, a peacock.
A volunteer wins this game. Volunteer.
Yeah. Tennessee is a very interesting team because even though they lost their conference tournament and they've had a lot of good wins this year, they have a superstar in Kennett, and obviously they brought back some players who were injured last year. Remember, they were a high seed last year before they made the tournament, and they had 2 superstars get hurt before the tournament. They're back this year. Very interesting team, this Tennessee. I think they run away with this one.
St. Peter's was like the miracle team last year, right? They were like that team.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, the Sweet 16 team, I believe.
Yeah. Not this year.
No.
I'm actually taking the spread on that one too. I'm taking the points with Tennessee. Okay, that's the end of. We've done all the matchups and all the betting we can for the first round matchups. Now we just got to finish this bracket up and call it a merry Monday/Wednesday. Purdue, Utah State. Can we all agree Purdue?
Yes.
Very interesting one here. Kansas Gonzaga. Obviously, Heavy T wants to blow it all up. If it was up to Heavy T, it would be Samford versus McNeese in this one.
I think McNeese over Gonzaga is fine. I think Samford. I won't go Samford over Kansas. However, I do have McNeese over Kansas. Moving on.
You have McNeese over Kansas.
Oh, that'd be correct. Yes, moving on. Like I said,
he's trying to bet two weeks here. I think even though Gonzaga is there and Kansas is missing their player, it's still Kansas. I have Kansas winning this game.
All right.
A better overall team. Thomas, you're going to have to fight us here. Do you have Kansas or a healthy Gonzaga who can't beat the Gales from St. Mary's, who, by the way, we have going to the
I'm going to trust your word, and I'm going to hope that they have enough. Gonzaga, the stats you pulled up, I didn't like that, so we'll go Kansas.
Smart man. And this is why, when it comes to my champion, I'm going to be real clear why I think they're the champion, because there's one clear team who has a literal shoe-in to the Final Four. More on that later. It's out of this bracket, which is by far the weakest bracket. Creighton and Oregon. I know Dana Altman. He was Creighton's old coach. This is where the Oregon stops. Creighton is just a really good team. I'm really high on them, actually. I think they win this game. Heavy T?
I completely agree. Creighton wins this game.
Texas, Tennessee. Tennessee is better than Texas. Tennessee has those 2-star players we mentioned. I think they win this game.
Yep.
Tennessee is definitely better than Texas. However, I have Colorado State winning against Texas, but Tennessee beats Colorado State.
All right. So we somehow still ended up with a 1, 2, 3, 4 in this bracket. Probably because this is the weakest bracket, right? We have New Mexico here. We have St. Mary's here. We've done good work up here. We got a 10. We got all sorts of stuff. I guess we got another 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, maybe we're not doing too well there with the one. We got New Mexico going far. New Mexico is the Monday Night Rant team of record at this point. I really like Creighton to upset Tennessee. Scrappy defensively. Tennessee has those 2-star players, like I mentioned. If Kennett can't shoot the ball, which happened in the SEC tournament, they lost. I've seen it happen in the middle of the season, and they just don't know how to close out. They've been a 1 or 2 seed so many times, just can't deliver. And this Creighton team is kind of underrated. Really good defensively, offensively. Overall, between offense and defense adjustment, they're like ranked 4th. So I kind of like Creighton to upset Tennessee here. Heavy T, what do you got?
I do have Creighton upsetting Tennessee and moving on to face. You can figure out who's going to win the next one.
Purdue. Again, Purdue, we're talking about Grambling now, Utah or TCU, and a broken Kansas team or Gonzaga. Purdue, of all the number 1 seeds, of all 4 of them, have the easiest path to get here. The easiest. And it's not even close.
Yeah, I completely agree. I have Purdue beating Grambling. I have them beating TCU, and I have them beating McNeese, and then they beat Creighton. They have,
I have beating Creighton too, right? We all agree. Purdue is going to the Final Four.
I think the easiest way to say it is I mean, you can argue that I guess the path I have set up for North Carolina is slightly around the same, but they do have to get through a Michigan State team, which I think is better than TCU, and they are going to have to get through Arizona, who I think is better than Creighton. So,
just out of curiosity, I don't know a lot. Like I told you, I don't know too much about this. I've seen a lot of hesitation with people in Purdue. Is there a reason for that, or is it just
because they lost to a 16 seed last year? That's why.
No, they did not lose to a 16 seed. The only team that's ever lost to a 16 seed was Virginia.
No, Purdue lost to a 16 seed last year. That did
last year too. It happened twice.
That 100% happened.
Oh, well, in that case,
give me 1 second. I'm gonna double check this. I'm 99% sure that happened. To a 16 seed.
Did it happen last year? No one's in the chat yelling at me, so I don't know.
Yeah, so Purdue has lost to a double-digit seed in the last 3 straight seasons.
Okay, that makes
last
sense.
year it was Fairleigh Dickinson, the number 16 seed that beat Purdue, number 1.
Wow.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Okay, yeah, here it is. So in 2021, Purdue was a number 4. They lost to number 13 North Texas.
Correct.
In 2022, they were a number 3. They lost to St. Peter's.
That's right.
Let's see.
You're right. Last year was Fairleigh Dickinson.
Yeah. Oh, that's what happened. So Purdue was a number 3 seed. They made it to the Sweet 16 in 2022. However, that was the St. Peter's miracle run, and St. Peter's made it all the way to the Elite 8.
Correct.
So they beat Purdue, and then number 1 Purdue lost to Fairleigh Dickinson last year.
Wow.
Are they different this year? roster-wise.
I mean, Edey's still there. He's the main star.
They're the same. The guards are the same. I think they lost one senior. We just went through the whole bracket, and they have the easiest run to the Final Four of any number one seed. It's not even.
I think the only question is the Creighton game that they have. After what I just heard,
Creighton they do have a really good big man. Who, by the way, last year
I've actually watched like Creighton more than anybody.
What's his name? He has a funny name. I can't think of it on the top of my head right now, but it's like Stickenbrenner or something like that. Yeah. But last year he was like the star. Remember, Creighton went pretty far last year, so they're kind of back this year. Like
there is a couple things that, or one thing I guess specifically that makes me think Purdue over Creighton. Top 25, Creighton 3-2, Purdue 7-0.
Oh, yeah.
Purdue's been on a mission this year as kind of like a revenge narrative after what happened last year.
Yeah, and remember what happened last year? The last time a number 16 seed beat a number 1, that being Virginia. Virginia won the whole thing the next year. So I'm not saying.
Oh yeah, you're right. They did. They beat Texas Tech in the final that year.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's going to happen this year, but the revenge tour is on. Also, Creighton did lose to what's his name?
Barrel.
The dude who pushed at Louisville. No, what's his name? I'm blanking at the moment.
That was a dad joke. Sorry, Creighton Barrel. Get it?
Creighton did lose to Rick Pitino and St. John's when Rick Pitino was out there dressed like a big old South evangelistic pastor, and it was amazing. So yeah.
Billy, he looked like Baby Billy.
Dude, my man looked exactly like Baby Billy. I wasn't going to say that because I didn't know if you guys knew who that was. My boy looked exactly like Baby Billy. It was beautiful.
All right, here we are. Here's our Final Four, gentlemen. Auburn and Arizona, Marquette, Purdue. I like it. We have one number 1 seed, 2 2s, and a 4. So pretty kind of shock, but not really. We got to pick our finals. Auburn, Arizona. Both these teams very evenly matched. You know me, I'm really high on Auburn. In my bracket, I do have Auburn going to the final. However, you two, if you both want Arizona, I'd be more than happy with that too. I think either one of these teams is very deserved to be in the final here.
I like it because it's in. I kind of like Arizona because it's in Glendale. And
it is in Arizona.
That's a very home advantage. I don't know if that really plays out.
No, it does. It does.
Yeah. I mean, but I will say I didn't know it was in Arizona, so I have Auburn before that. But the Arizona factor is interesting. So heavy T, why don't you just
heavy T? You get to decide which team goes to the finals here. Again, by the way, if you're just watching right now and saw some new people come on, watch the replay. We explain how all these teams got here with adjusting offenses, defenses, records against top 25, and stuff like that.
So I should clarify, my Final Four is slightly different. I have Auburn, number 1, North Carolina, and then Purdue, and number 3, Kentucky. However, for this Final Four game, I do have Auburn getting to the final, beating North Carolina.
All right, so we have 2 Auburns here. It is in Arizona. We have 3 Auburns here. Holy crap. Wow, guys, Auburn's going to be our team. I'm going to go buy some Auburn stuff. Go Charles Barkley, baby. Let's go.
Real quick. I'll never forget when Auburn was in the conference or in the NCAA tourney, and Charles was supposed to wear his Auburn college jersey. And I think it was Kenny Smith asked him where it was, and Charles straight up said didn't fit. And I died laughing, dude. Funniest thing ever.
Well, you know he's going to have Auburn going far. But again, all the metrics I did, everything I talked about earlier, they're the only team in the nation that has both top 10 adjusted offense and defense. And just kind of a sneaky team coming out of that bracket of the East, which is crazy. So Auburn, all right, guys, this gets really interesting here. Does Marquette have the size to keep up with Edey and Purdue?
I'm gonna say or
no. Kentucky, because we are split on that, and I do feel like Kentucky could be here too, either Kentucky or Marquette.
So like I said, I do have Kentucky beating Purdue, but I actually have Purdue advancing to the final, beating Kentucky.
I have Purdue going to the final as well. Thomas,
I like Purdue.
Are we running the Virginia 5 years ago narrative here, guys? Losing to a 16. And
if Purdue gets this far, in my opinion, they're going to win this. If they get this far,
I'm going to be honest, and it is thankful to the bracket of death in the East, or I guess the region of death. That is why Purdue gets to this title game, and that is why they win the whole damn thing.
I have Purdue in my bracket winning the whole damn thing too.
The points is gonna. You guys do that? That's
gonna
be kind of.
We're gonna have to, but you could see how easy it is for them to get here, right? Although last year we could have said the same thing and they lost to Fairleigh Dickinson, which if you say that slower enough, it's kind of a bad word. But it's set up really nicely for Purdue in the matchups and what's in their bracket, who they have to play, the injury to the Kansas superstar, everything just coming together here, kind of, which is exactly what happened to Virginia that next year too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And Virginia were also really high in the Ken Palm, and that year they brought everybody back after that loss because they were embarrassed. It's a very similar kind of theme, like it's almost identical to the same type of thing. So Heavy T, you got Purdue?
I do have Purdue, yeah. I do have Purdue. And I gotta be perfectly honest, I usually hate picking a number one to get into the conference final, but not Purdue.
Sure. 137. There you go. 65 to 70 something. There you go.
Oh, I think I put like 156.
All right. This is the official Monday Night Monday Night Rants bracket. I'm going to save this here and enter it in the perfect bracket or the contest to try to win some money and have a good time. So there you go. We're all the agreeants here. I think the final four, we got Auburn and Arizona, Marquette, Purdue. Purdue, we went through the whole bracket, told you why. The easiest way in there, the bracket of death. And okay, after the bracket of death, Auburn has to squeak out a win against Arizona, then play Purdue. They're not going to have the energy. Remember, that comes from the weekend to Monday. There's not a lot of games rested between that as well. So that's why I think Heavy T is right. Purdue pulls off the win. Purdue will be your championship team this year. The same sentiment we had for Virginia after they lost to a 16 a few years ago, too. Thank you, gentlemen. How you guys feeling right now? You feel better? You're going to make some more brackets tonight, maybe 8?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No, I think I'm going to keep it to the 1. I think I'll still keep it to the 1.
Okay. Well, this one I'm going to enter. It's a little bit different than mine in a few areas, but I do have Purdue winning the championship in mine as well, and Auburn in the Final Four. But interesting enough, that's the way That's the way the bracket cookie crumbles. Everybody, we went 2 hours, probably because somebody was late to work.
Couldn't be me.
Good night. My wife's calling me right now. All right, gentlemen. Well, next Monday, Heavy T, are you working next Monday?
I am working next Monday. I will be talking to you live from the FanDuel studio, where I will be humbly accepting my position as host for 1 week because Grand Canyon made it to the Sweet 16.
Oh yeah, we'll know by then, huh?
I would think so, unless that game is late Monday night. Then we should know.
There's no games Monday. It's just all the way through Sunday, so we should be good.
Oh yeah. Then we definitely would know by then. That's right.
So we'll know. Grand Canyon and Auburn and Purdue and the teams of the show record here of what you would say. Thomas, thank you, man, for joining us, and you'll be back next week for normal Rants on the Street, where we talk about actual sports, not do a bracket for 2 hours.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Hopefully some NBA questions. UFC 300 is coming up. Baseball. Oh, shoot. Next week we're supposed to do our baseball picks for MVP and all that. Or AL MVP, NL MVP, Cy Young. So we'll do that next week in Heavy T's 20 minutes that he has, and hopefully not gloating that Grand Canyon made it to the Sweet 16. So next week, the three of us will be here talking baseball. Then I wanted to have the make the cut, man. We got to make the cut back.
We will bring that back. There's going to have to be a day where I'm off of FanDuel and we're just able to make that work. But okay. we will try our best. We'll see what happens.
Cool. And I may bring Elliot on with us next week to give his baseball insights on his picks as well. And then also Matt Sell, as always, with his good knowledge. We'll figure it out. All right, Heavy T. It's at Heavy T on air on your 2 favorite social media platforms that he's on, Twitter and Instagram. You can find him on Facebook, but he looks like he's 20 years older and hasn't posted anything since he was toddler.
It's true. Also, if you find me on Instagram, there's a nice little picture on there that you should give a like. And all I'm going to say is, Nuck if you buck, baby. Let's go.
Also, check out his inept franchise series on MondayNightRants.com.
Yeah, we took a week off because I was in Houston visiting friends. I was on a little vacation, but I will be back next Monday with a new blog. I think I'm going to do baseball this time. Come back to that. Not sure which team yet, but I think we're going to do a baseball blog.
Talk about our own team or what? Did you already?
Not yet. That one is coming. Damn it, Artie, you son of a bitch. That one's coming.
Bettor Thomas, we got to get you on there as well, man. Give us some picks.
Yeah,
give us some NBA picks. Give us some UFC. UFC 300. You may have to cover UFC 300 for me because I'll be at a bachelor party that weekend.
I got
so you may have to do your picks that weekend for me. From myself, from at Bettor Thomas, from at Heavy T on Air, from everyone who watched all night and enjoyed our fun and everything. Get your bets in if you live in the state of California. Remember, you can always text Ohtani's agent. He's on it. Enjoy the tournament. Go Auburn. Go Arizona. Go Purdue. Go Kentucky or Marquette. Whichever way you swing. Hey, now, not that way, though. From everyone here at the Bettor Sports Network, we'll see you next Monday night for our baseball show. We got a theme every week now as we give our picks for this upcoming baseball season, even though it kind of started yesterday, but who cares about that? I knew the Padres would be in last night. I woke up this morning. We'll see you guys next week. And as always, a big shout out to my boy, my friend, and our friend at the show, Taj McGowan.